My name's Justin from Jim's Fencing. Here today we're doing over the next few days I should say, doing a Windsor style picket fence in Brunswick, Melbourne. It was a old, what you call cyclone chain wire fence up to about here. Not particularly appealing for a nice single front home in Brunswick. So today we've pulled out the old fence with a few challenges, and then we dig some holes, put the feature posts in, which are a nice Windsor capital on them, cypress post, and let that set overnight, and then we're back over the next couple of days to slowly build the frame and install the pickets. Basically you got to put a nice post at the end of the picket fence. I got a stormwater drain that goes right there to there, about that far in the ground, which means either I put a post and I come back this way to miss the stormwater pipe, or I bolt it onto here. But if anyone does anything with this brickwork, then this bit comes away. Normally you can just bust the concrete around and just wriggle it, bit of muscle. That one didn't want to come out. Last one, Murphy's Law. So we just cut a little bit out and used a 4-wheel drive jack just to pull it straight up. Lovely. What I do now is whenever I find something that's not ideal, or I just grab the client and go, righto, so I can show and say, righto, I can't put a post in the ground there. I either need to come back this way and run it through, which will look really weird, or I bolt it to the brickwork and let them make the decision. I'd probably secure it to the thing. Yeah, but knowing that if they ever want to do something with that.
It's a rental and it's been rented for ever and a day anyway, so.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Go with that. Done.
Undecided.
Thanks, mate.
Too easy.
As a working franchisor, generally I do one job a week, Monday through to about Wednesday, give or take. Some days a bit less, sometimes a bit more. But as a franchisee, you're generally on the tools. You might do two jobs a week. String. Let's just make sure it's straight. So basically it's 8 metres, and so we don't need to dig there, so we've got a few holes to dig now. So I'm just marking out where our posts and our holes will go. 6. Now the fun begins. Carger, isn't it? Yeah. Doesn't reckon fencing's hard work. We're about to start digging. So if you want to start that one, right there.
What are you not using tool? Power tool?
No. Too small for power tool. So 600.
600?
Yeah. So basically the hardest part of the job, digging hard. No. And when you're doing, say, like picket fences, because you've got to put the posts where the old posts were, because they're features and all that, whereas these ones, you can move them a little bit. So when you're doing where an old post was, usually there's a bucket load of concrete that you've got to get out. The only thing to be mindful with front fences is utilities usually going in. So stormwater over there, Telstra pit over there. There'll be gas along here somewhere, just in here. See the gas up there? Wants to come out. That's a cool one. Yep. So what happens here, we've got basically most of the crap out. All I have to do is be mindful of a gas pipe somewhere. Most of my jobs are timber because they're period type homes where the colour bond is a bit more contrasting. Most of my work is timber, whether it's timber paling to go with old homes or timber front picket fences. Whereas if you live up in, say, Shepparton or Albury-Wodonga, you don't need a compressor, i.e. it's just all you do is colour bond. They wouldn't know what timber is. We have a bit of a laugh with them. I said, doing a timber job, What's that? Sometimes, literally, you have your head in a hole, your ass in the air, and the phone will ring. What are you doing? I've got my head in a hole. No, what are you doing? I've got my head in a hole, mate. So generally when guys are doing trial days, I invite them to come out with me for a day before I send them to another franchisee. Just so I'm not wasting anyone's time.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But I also try and get them out on a day where I'm digging holes, so they're not just paling and going, oh, this is nice and cruisy. Like, you know, this is the job. There's a big bit of wood down there, an old post. So that's that one done. How you going?
Hey, nearly there. Nearly 600.
Nearly 600?
It should be wider.
Yeah, so what happened is the post hole goes like that, so you need to go down.
Yeah.
I'll show you, like over here, because it's a big post. It's bigger than these.
Like this?
Yeah, it's more like that. Still think fencing's easy?
I think we are working hard because we're not using tool.
But how would you use a post hole digger with all this concrete?
Maybe we can make it softer.
Hard?
Or maybe that first part is hard, but when you go deeper, you can use the tool.
And how long would it take you to set it up and put it in?
Not long. I think
Okay.
people just holding it, it will dig automatically.
Okay. Do you think if it was easier, I would have bought it today?
I think it will be easier.
So basically, it's talking about a post hole digger, two straight. But by the time, like we've got 5 holes to dig, by the time you bring it, pack it, it's not going to work on concrete. That it just goes bang, bang. So, the other joy of fencing, occasionally, you turn up for a little job. You go, great Friday job, 3 post holes. You'll be done by lunchtime. And then you see on the other side of the fence or something, there's an old palm tree or something. Now, I don't know if you know much about palm trees, but they just spread like that. The roots in the ground. And you go to yourself, you've cursed it. And the other time, it's like you think a job's going to be challenging and a bit of a pain, and it's not. So, but once you got your post holes done, then you're above ground and you know what you're dealing with. I was a 20-year corporate banker, chartered accountant, sitting at the desk, you know, in the UK for about a decade. I was working for NAB basically, and I was in there. It's sort of like an area where if loans go bad, you know, so plenty of work when the GFC hit, which hit when I was over there. Yeah, but so yeah, and then it'd been brewing. I just do something different. Oh, my brother's a fencer up in Canberra. He used to be Jim's, so he used to be a franchisee under Dave Morrison. So my brother got into it probably 15 years ago or something like that. I just had one of those days at work, and I rang him up, and I said, "Fencing." You know, I'm in the office with a suit and tie on in Melbourne in Collins Street. So I thought, oh, yeah, that's enough for me. So I thought I'd do it for a few years, just to have a bit of a break from the corporate world and all that sort of stuff. And then I'd work out what I wanted to do when I grew old. And I've been doing this for about 6 years now, so. It's all right. It's called a tree root. Once we got our holes dig, stopping for a coffee. I hate tree roots and bricks. So basically, once we've dug these 2 holes, we're done in terms of hole digging. If you can just get this massive tree root out of the way for me, that'd be good. Nearly there, nearly there. I think you just need to go down the back a bit more, about halfway down, because that post is going to be back a bit. It's a hidden post.
Okay.
Yeah, so these posts, and then that one's going to be screwed into the wall. So what I'm looking at here is we want the picket fence base to go straight across, but it goes up a bit. So, otherwise known as square peg round hole. Morning. How are you? So basically what I'm doing here is just working out how my fence is going to sit. So it's the bottom board, I'll just bore you with a bit of fencing jargon, is 140 mil. So you can set the string whatever, but yeah, so this is all about 140, that's the bottom of it. I'll just need to dig out a little bit of soil and the plinth will go in a little bit. So what I'm going to do now is just grab my client and say, righto, this is roughly how it sits. Because ideally you want the timber just up a bit because the moisture will just, but yeah, I'll be back in a sec. I just wanted to explain it. Yep. Ideally you wouldn't want the plinth buried too much in it because it'll just rot over time.
Yeah.
But it'll be fine.
Okay.
I just wanted to explain.
I might put some plastic on the back of it anyway. So I've got some black plastic there that I've got to put in.
So we'll put the posts in.
All right.
I might not put that one in today.
Yep.
Or screw it on, but I'll put the others in and Bob your uncle.
Too easy.
You don't always have the luxury of the client being home.
Yep.
But just explaining, because some of the bottom board's going to go into the ground, which will rot it over time. Some of it you might find a bit of a gap because this bitumen and asphalt is sort of,
right.
But your timber's straight. So you sit back and you go, righto, how do I? So even up there, you can see how the asphalt on the bottom board, the white one, how it's got a mound.
Yep.
So, and that would have been done after the fence at some point. So I'll go get some posts and we can see what it starts looking like. So these are our Windsor posts. What I might do. So we've got more posts than what we need. So we'll be cutting a bit off the bottom to make it fit. So yeah, try and find the nicest side. Everything's wet and dirty. With those, you just put all your posts in, they'll all be different heights, build from the bottom, cut the top, because these need to be the right height. I've got to get it absolutely exactly where I want it. Come stand, hold this for me, please.
Yeah, I know.
I won't get your shoes dirty.
Yeah, I can do it.
Just hold it for me.
Yeah.
Thank you. So what you do with your posts as well is you order more than you need. You can't add to the post, but you can cut off. I'm just being opportunistic with you here, Joel.
No problem at all.
So basically, and you guys don't know, the top of from that to the bottom is 1190. Okay, so I go. Yep, no, that's it, mate.
Right there. Yeah.
Right there, thank you. So what I'm doing there, just marking it, don't move. And then that means I need to take off 375 mil. 375. So basically what I'm doing is cutting off 375 mil off the bottom. So what I did with this particular job, and I offer it whenever I do picket fence, I offer to the clients to drop the materials off first so they can have a go at painting them.
Oh, okay.
And then all they have to do is touch it up.
Yeah.
When I'm done. I basically say I'm not a painter. If you want me to paint it, you'll want a refund when I'm finished. It's cypress, it's timber, so it's not perfect. So what I'm looking, I'm trying to find a nice side, basically. Righto. So then we go, righto, let's get this thing right. Beautiful, that's good. Actually, sorry mate, I'm going to change that a bit. Yep. Yeah, so basically what I'm going to do is cut that and move the post that way a little bit. If you could pull the post out, I'm just going to get a saw. What's it catching on? That's all right. So it just closes it a bit better. That's perfect that way. What's about that way? No. So we just need to, it'll come back this way, that's okay. Watch your fingers. Yeah, perfect, thanks mate. Otherwise known as gentle persuasion. So that's perfect. I really like that post. This sounds a bit corny. When you're working on your own, you go, good post. And see how I'm right on the string?
Yeah, definitely.
So I've got a little bit of wriggle room. And so basically now what I do is just make the cement. Generally, when you do a timber paling fence, like you can either dry ram or make a slurry, but with these type of things, I like to, I mean, it's a premium price. So yeah, I'll use wet cement and let it cure. The longer cement takes to cure, to dry, the stronger it is. Generally Mondays, when you've pulled down an old fence and you've dug holes, you go home covered in crap. I put it on a good shirt for you boys today. Shaved, good shirt. So I'll make up another half a bag. So I don't need a whole bag, so just bear with me. So generally you'll make a gate, say 900, give or take. It's a good width because bins are 600, so you got another 300 bikes and all that. So 900 is a good, so if we look at what 900 is, so 900, the post will go about there, which is about right. So I just need to take a bit of dirt out that side. So once that one's in, then we can start working that way.